Balaam will continue putting the camp away. Kyne, you may or may not have overheard this conversation. Um, as for the rest of the group, I think you all were busy
Yep.
doing your own thing. So
Yeah,
you probably heard some sort of a tussle, but you weren't really able to make out.
the raising of voices, but not sure the words.
Yeah,
Yeah, I imagine Delwyn was helping Gwenail.
yeah. Balaam's going to turn in shortly, and Alexandra is going to keep watch outside of the tent.
Oh, yes. I'll take this tent.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything going on tonight that I need to know about before we move on to the next morning? Okay.
Is anyone going to address the raising of voices if they recognize one
Yeah.
of the Wardens?
You guys probably at least know that the argument was between Balaam and Lealden, and Lealden's
Yeah.
kind of to himself, walked off by himself. He probably looks really troubled, conflicted, one of the above, or all.
Yeah. I think Delwyn's gonna go find him before everybody turns in and make sure he's accounted for. So yeah.
Could we have like a tree or something somewhere?
There's a tree. We're by a tree.
Magically.
I'm just imagining I'm just there and just staring just quietly to myself and then there we go.
There you go.
Tree.
Your wish is my
Hey.
command. The DM says, "Let there be tree," and it was done. And the DM thought it was good.
I would just probably just be for like similar, I guess, to how Devin did. Just after silence, just I just punch it.
Those poor trees. They're getting punched a lot.
You punch the tree, and Delwyn, some of the snow falls down from the branches. A bit of it lands on your head, on your
Yeah.
shoulders.
He just kind of brushes it off. A lot on your mind too, I take it.
You could say that, yes.
Well, recent events. Take it you don't much like that guy. Something to do with your parents, maybe?
Yes, that could be a reason.
Yeah, don't think I'd much care to get along with him either if I were in your shoes. Faster we get out of here, the better.
Agreed.
Delwyn, I'm gonna say that one of the things that you did overhear him say was A, don't make me the villain here, and B, don't brand me as a cold-blooded killer. Those are the two things that you probably overheard that probably under the circumstances resonated towards you the most.
Yeah.
Would you have heard anything I said?
I don't think
As I
so.
read?
I don't think so.
It's hard though. Sometimes circumstance puts you in a position you don't want to be in. And when it's your own life on the line, you tend to do some things you later regret.
I want to hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like something I would be saying right about now.
No.
Well, at least he did what, in the end, a clearly remorseful individual would have done. So, you don't have to forgive him, but hell, it's hard being put in that position.
I agree with you. And I don't expect you to fully side with me on this either.
It's not gonna be so bad, you know. We get the medal, we go back, we do the thing. You know, we go back to the way it was.
You're right. Can't.
You know, this isn't our place.
We should get this done as soon as possible then.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, the sooner everyone's out of here, the better.
You should know something.
Hmm.
I imagine as if it's not already been made clear that my occupation before joining with you was not of the most reputable kind. Reputable in a sense, I guess.
Lee, you're talking to a blood mage here. I know all about professions looking down on.
And at first I thought he was one of several who have been asked to claim my life. His being one of the most persistent of them. All this time I thought that he had added out for me just based on a simple need for justice or greed, one or the other. Maybe both. But from what he's told me, someone knew about this, Stellan. Something new about us and what we were to do here.
Yeah, I still don't know what we did.
Whatever it was, though, something new of the importance of us in the timeline. And had asked him to remove me before I interloped, I guess. There is there's something out there. Something that knows what is happening and why it is, and I feel as if we're all just being played with.
Yeah, kind of know all about that feeling. Be nice to know who this mystery person is.
Yes.
Who knows, maybe we'll run into him. I mean, all the people they sent after us couldn't get the job done, right? They're gonna have to come and do the dirty work themselves eventually.
Android, you alright?
There's just so many things I want to say, but I can't say it. You'll find out in a few sessions, though. Sorry, continue.
We can start off that it's a her.
No.
He said that he didn't quite catch her name and that she dropped off of records after his business with her.
Huh. Well, she's probably gonna get sick of all her lackeys failing, so I imagine we'll run into her soon enough. Question is, we just gotta be prepared for when it happens, and if we don't know when it happens, let's just stay prepared.
Make her help us if we weren't prepared. All the more reason we need to get the volcanic
Aurum, yes.
Aurum.
Yes.
All the more reason we need to get that volcanic aurum.
Yeah.
What do you think of Kyne then?
Well, it's a little bit like looking into a mirror. You know, a mirror of me 20 years in the past. But, interesting. Amusing. Seems nice enough, but, you know, I recognize dodgy answers when I hear them.
Agreed. He is not telling us everything.
Well, with the condition of our companion, wouldn't help having a guide who knows the place.
Agreed. Like it or not, we're going to need his help.
Yeah.
Well then, suppose then we should just get this done and over with as soon as possible. Again.
Yeah, we got a lot on our mind, and we're probably not going to get a lot of sleep because of it.
Alright. I forget who has first watch today.
So, as diligent as he is, it's probably Max. Hey, you know, thanks for not, condemning me.
We all make mistakes, and I'm starting to learn that we shouldn't all just be written off for them.
Well, I thought I would have been hung out to dry, but you had my back. You know, not just here, not just with the Archdemon, in Redcliffe too. And I didn't properly thank you for that. So, thanks. He just kind of awkwardly pats him on the back and starts to walk towards the tent.
Don't mention it.
Yeah,
And
don't
Ensign.
worry, I won't.
Okay.
One thank you's enough.
You guys.
Yay!
Well done, guys. Well done, guys. You guys end up spending the night. Fortunately, the night is uneventful. I think sometime during Delwyn's watch, he hears a rumbling in the distance, but fortunately, it passed. It sounded like another horde of Darkspawn, but they seem to be going elsewhere. Next morning rolls around, and you guys are setting up camp. Or, excuse me, tearing down camp. Maximilian, Archer approaches you, and he looks more upset this morning than he was yesterday, if that's even possible. He looks like he hasn't slept much last night. His eyes are red. He looks like he looks at you with a big frown on his face, and then he begins coughing. He looks very upset. Tears start streaming down his face, and then he suddenly goes up to you and he wraps his arms around you with a big giant hug, because he's realizing he's sick too. You guys summoned Gestiel to question him. That was time number 2 while you were out. And when you did, Archer walked off on his own, if you remember. So you weren't there to see anything go up his nostrils.
No.
So now you have 2 people sick. What do you say, Maximilian? Right now, Archer's breaking down. He's normally a very confident and very courageous person, but he's now coming to terms with the fact that he's next. Because you all wanted him to be... No.
Shut up!
He was the only other option.
He was already...
Dang it.
I already decided that before we even started the session, because he was... So,
Yeah.
it wasn't because of what you had said, but...
But
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
I just just you're gonna hug him back, then put a hand on his shoulder and squeeze tightly. Then it's gonna. Is Delwyn around?
Delwyn is around.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry, Archer. I realize now that this demon is more dangerous. But I don't have words. I'm sorry.
Part of you is afraid that if you summon the demon again, somebody else is just going to get sick. So that's...
Yeah.
You can confront him, but... Yeah.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I need to talk to Delwyn. Archer, you stay strong.
Okay. Archer will sit down, take a few drinks from his flask. He seems like he's starting to perspire a little bit, even though it's cold outside. You'll find Delwyn. I don't know what he's doing. Apparently he's taking a leak by the tree with Lealden at the moment, apparently. Unless you want to move Lealden somewhere else.
Good game.
Yeah, good game.
Okay, into the tent I go.
Anyway, I don't know where Delwyn actually is right now, but
It's the meeting.
as of right now, he's at the tree.
Yes, he'll be out and about at the tree.
The meeting tree. Go ahead.
Would this thing would be a big anyway.
He'll just be kind of sitting at the base of it.
Yeah, you can probably see Maximilian coming. He's a big guy with big armor. So
Yeah.
Like a raging bull.
Yes.
At that point, Delwyn will stand up and kind of dust the snow off of his backside. And
Delwyn,
yeah, are we ready to go, or?
Archer's sick. You do realize that if we were not on this mission, one of us would be dead at this point.
Yeah.
I need to know that you won't summon your demon friend unless it's absolutely necessary for the mission. Do you understand me? At this point, I'm just... Are you by the tree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna push him against the tree and look straight into his eyes. Are we clear?
You can't even blame me for that. You all wanted me to do that.
It's not about blaming anyone. It's about controlling your urges to save your own life.
It's not like... it's not like you need help. You're perfectly capable of saving your own ass.
I've seen you in action, Delwyn. I know you can handle yourself, with or without a demon. I mean, we need you. But we don't need him.
It's not me. It's all him. I'm a scared little elven kid from an alien age who ran off when he found out he could light things on fire. I mean, I don't have fancy training like Gwenael. Wasn't trained by soldiers.
I've found out that you make your own fate and your own destiny. Now it's time for you to step up. Please, we can't have him killing off our friends. This is about more than you and me. I know that we need your power, but at what cost?
I know.
Okay, I back off.
It's just... It's not so easy sometimes. You know?
Archer and Vic,
Yeah.
they're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I imagine they're probably terrified of it. I mean, if you could save your own life, wouldn't you?
That depends. If my sacrifice would be helpful for the mission, for taking us out of here and save thousands of people, I would happily die. And I guess that we need you. And if you need to save your life, then do it. But we don't want this unnecessary bloodshed ever again.
Oh, believe me, that's the last thing I want to.
It's at this point that you hear Gwenail cursing up a storm in the tent. You figure he probably just found out about Archer.
Yeah. Look, no more 20 questions with the demon. You know, no more sitting down for tea. You know, if I'm plummeting, 600 feet to my death, then I gotta do what I gotta do, but...
Very
Yeah.
well. I don't like it, but
Yeah, I
we
don't
need
like
you.
it either.
Archer's not going to be happy with you.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone has told Archer. He wasn't there when you guys were questioning Justia.
Okay, then I didn't say that.
He doesn't.
He
No,
doesn't know
Archer.
who we
I don't
are.
think any of you have told him anything. So as
Nope.
far as Archer's concerned, something mysterious is causing the sickness, and it hit him. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well.
Sorry.
Look, Max, can we...
Maximilian.
Maximilian. Can we not tell Archer about this? I think the last thing he needs is the added stress.
I agree with you. It would put our mission in danger.
Yeah.
Just
Be careful.
think about what I said.
Yeah.
Okay, then I move away.
Maelstrom's gonna be so mad.
I know.
Everyone's dying.
I know, but and it's
her
it's
first
like-
mate, yeah,
and her best friend
And her- yeah, Archer. She really likes Archer.
Yeah.
it was just like, and she's gonna be pissed because like we're our group, we're not losing anyone. We are causing everything else around us to just.
Yep.
Is Kyne? What's that?
Can I-
Kyne.
Kyne.
He's
Kind.
yeah. What's Kyne doing this
Attacked by the
morning?
fire?
W-
Throughout this time, he appears to be completely not paying attention to anything that's happening, which probably means he's heard every word and has stored it away.
Probably.
Oh, that kind.
Good morning.
Well, I wish I could say that. Are you willing to help us?
You know, I slept on it, and something tells me you're gonna need my help.
I'm grateful. Thank you very much. I reach out my hand.
A pleasure. Max, was it?
Maximilian.
All right, Maximilian.
We'll
You
leave
live
as soon as possible.
Aye, all business. Yes, sir. Right to it.
Good. I knew there were a reason I liked you. Yep.
You guys pack up, and Balaam is gonna stay put. He doesn't pack up his camp. He will take one look at Lealden without saying anything. But he doesn't give Lealden a look of disdain. Sort of gives Lealden a look of thoughtfulness. He nods
Right.
as you leave. If you don't say anything, he's going to nod as you leave.
It's hard to say, but thank you for giving my parents a proper respect.
Balaam says, you don't owe me any thanks. In fact, what you owe me is quite the opposite.
And you probably may have been better off having caught me.
It's hard to tell. It's not like we can turn back the time. It's not like we can turn back the clock and change anything.
Here's hoping I can prove you wrong with that, then.
He sort of grins at you. Not quite sure what you meant by that, but he'll take it as a response.
He's been with Kyne for a long time. He's probably used to remark that.
Yeah.
He's not quite fully sure on what they mean.
He says, if you are offering forgiveness, I will accept it on the condition that you at least accept a portion of mine.
I shall. What do you plan to do from here?
I'm not sure, he says. It is come to the time for my end, I'm afraid. Pretty soon I must join my brethren in the deep roads. You can roll a history,
Okay.
Lealden. You can roll a
Sure.
history.
That's a cunning. My first actual 3d6 roll. Yay.
17.
Pretty good.
The only reason a man would say that he has to meet his brother in the deep roads to die is because he's a Grey Warden. That's the only reason people typically go to the... Unless they are Dwarven, in which case they're the Legion of the Dead, but he's not a dwarf. So you realize this man's a Grey Warden.
You're a Grey Warden.
He nods. I am. Not much good it ended up doing. We lost, as you can see.
It won't be like this forever. There's still a chance we can change this.
If you believe you can slay the Archdemon, are any one of you there Grey Wardens?
I'm not Grey Warden, but the silver short sword currently embedded in its back will probably be proof enough.
That won't be enough. The Archdemon has to be slain by a Grey Warden. If you don't, then its spirit will go to the next Darkspawn. And since Darkspawn are soulless, at that point the Archdemon would be nigh impossible. You need to remember that.
Do you know of any other Grey Wardens?
There aren't very many of us around besides myself. I believe there was one who just went to her calling within the last several months. I'm assuming she's probably has rested by this point.
Right.
Though she's very tough, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's still around, either.
Well, We came in contact with the archdemon very close to here.
Did you actually kill the archdemon?
No, and from what you say, I'm actually a bit thankful for that.
As
It
am
did.
I.
It escaped rather wounded, though.
It's not invincible. But just remember, if you do choose to slay the archdemon, there are rules.
There always are with very convenient things like this. Thank you.
He nods. Okay. Are you guys
Are you guys ready?
Right.
You pack up, you guys head. During your travels, Kyne will guide you to the shortest route that he knows to get to Orzammar, which is just as well because I think at this point his tracking ability is going to start suffering a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll run into a stray darkspawn here and there. Nothing that you guys can't handle. You definitely see as you get closer to Orzammar that the sheer number of darkspawn increases, the number of sightings of darkspawn increases. But again, with Kyne's help, you'll either able to avoid them completely or just make your way to a few stragglers that you can just pick off. Vic starts having trouble walking at some point. Archer will try to help him, but Archer himself is starting to get rather sickly. Gwenail will tell you that he is bent on getting to Orzammar, finding a place where he can set up to start a blood transfusion. Because Vicious Vic is a dwarf and a human, he can take blood transfusions from either Delwyn or Maximilian, because technically Delwyn has dragon blood in him right now.
Not that anybody else knows that.
Not that anybody else knows that,
Nope.
so Delwyn probably won't even mention it. He's going to
Yeah.
say that there's a problem with Archer. He's half human, half elf. Maximilian could provide blood, but giving blood transfusion to two people is going to take out too much from him. So unless they can find another human or another elf that happens to have dragon blood within them, you can only help one of them with a blood transfusion, and that's only assuming that your blood types are compatible,
Mm-hmm.
which he doesn't know yet until he gets to until he can set things up properly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna help Vicious Vic as much as I can. Like, if not carry him, at least let him lean on me.
As you are helping Vicious Vic, Vic's going to whisper to you hoarsely, "So this is where we are, Maxi Waxy."
Well, never thought it would come to this, but yes, here we are.
I remember the last time, back in the day, it seems like forever, you were pretty much set on taking me out. And here you are. I've got nearly 1 foot in the grave, and you're dragging me through the barren tundra wasteland over to Orzammar, my people's place of... Gosh, insert some big word here, he says.
Well, things change. Like it or not, you've been a valuable team member. And it seems like you've changed. Well, somewhat. And Plim seems to like you, so... Well, he's always had a good nose. Even better now.
Yes. Well... might as well, if I'm gonna have to leave this world, might as well see what my roots are before I do. I'm sure you'll have a lot to hear from the captain when you get back without me.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Well, I don't want to give false hope, but
Yeah.
Who knows? We
You're
might
gonna-
find something over there that might help us.
I know. We wouldn't want you to start sounding like the scholar now.
No, that's true. Well, how about you save your strength? Less talking, more walking.
You guys travel throughout most of the day. You'll camp one more time. And then, as you guys set out the next morning, before lunchtime, you will finally reach the surface entrance into Orzammar. It's at this point where Vicious Vic, you essentially have to carry him because he can't walk at all. His fever is gotten worse. Archer is not as bad, but you feel like he's going to be in the exact same state the next day. Kyne, as you lead the people into Orzammar, you see two golem who are standing guard at the entrance. And you know they are there to prevent trespassers from entering into Orzammar.
Do I know of any other ways in?
I think so. Yeah, I think you can find a tunnel that's been unused. It's been shut down because it's not the safest of tunnels to travel through. But you have a couple times finagled your way through it to get to at least deep enough into Orzammar without being noticed. So you can go that way too if you'd like, but it's kind of risky and dangerous. It's up to you. You guys will see the golems, though. Clearly, they're not that hard to see from a distance.
Yeah.
Welcome to Orzammar.
Wow, look at that.
Well, you're not inside it yet. There's just a big entrance. There's a big, massive temple-looking thing with a big, extravagant-looking gate.
Mhm.
But everything in Orzammar, you assume, is underground. So.
Well, we're not inside it yet, but there's a big gate and, things beyond there. It's down a bit.
I see. Well, how do we get in? Walk up to these golem things?
It'd be a short conversation. No, I had something else in mind.
Oh, really?
Things are not too open to outsiders right now. You might have heard.
Yes. So, what do you suggest?
I know another way. It's not an easy way. Some of your big brawny types might have to do a bit of smashing, but should be able to get you into the lower holes.
Well, we came prepared. What do you guys say? I turn around and look at Delwyn and Lee.
I don't know. I think smashing whatever it is we have to smash to go through there is a lot better than trying to smash those golems.
Agreed.
Right. Gwenail will have to take care of Archer and Vic. But if they tail us within a respectful distance, we can take care of the brunt, the hard work.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound cruel, but what about those two?
Well, we hoped to get them into the city to provide help. Perhaps turn the dwarf into a golem. Another one, maybe saving with my blood. But we need somewhere clean.
Yeah, you give the scholar the right tools, he can do anything.
Alright, but they're going to be a bit noisy, don't you think?
Well, I'm not leaving them behind, dwarf.
I wasn't suggesting, just posing a situation. It's your group. If you want to carry them, then you can carry them.
They'll be with us until they die. Let's go.
Kyne will lead you in as he hauls. Kyne also has a large, with his belongings, he's been lugging around this large sack behind him. Jingles a bit. It actually looks similar to the sack that Vicious Vic carries around with him with his grenades. Kyne's is a little bit larger though. But he will take you in through this boarded up entrance off to the side of the mountain. And he'll slide one of the boards open. And it appears to be an abandoned tunnel of sorts. You make your way in. Kyne, I'm going to have you roll some checks for me to see how well you can navigate your companions here without causing any damage to them.
All right.
Go ahead and make me a... Yeah, give me a navigation roll.
That's good.
So,
We'll
all right.
We'll
So
say
I'll
that...
add my bonus to 3d6. Is that right?
Yes, and we'll say that you get an additional +2 because you're actually familiar with this entranceway. So on +2 on top of that. 14. Okay. It takes a little bit longer to get through. There are some very rickety... There's some rickety floorboards, bridge walks, like wooden bridges. Actually, crumbling stone bridges. Dwarves don't really work with wood all that much. But with your navigation, you fortunately are able to get them through without too much of a problem if you take your time. Eventually, you will be able to take them to the inner chambers of Orzammar as our scene changes.
Mhm.
Orzammar is a fairly magnificent looking place. The stone workmanship of the dwarves have always been said to be legendary, and you can tell that they're not kidding. It is rather hot down below, especially compared to the Frostbat Mountains outside. It's due to a lot of the geothermal lava activity that's happening. It's where a lot of the dwarves utilize the lava for energy as well as for smelting, because they're very good with craftsmanship, crafting weapons, and again, with stonework and all that good stuff. As you guys peer out into Orzammar, you don't see any dwarves at all, as far as I can see, but there are a lot of golems milling about, and there's a very militaristic feel in here. It doesn't look like anyone here is doing anything in terms of their day-to-day business. Nobody's like, there aren't like kids playing out in the street. There aren't, people hanging up laundry or anything. Everybody's looks like they need to get somewhere to be on time for something. Everybody seems to be on the go, and they all have this militaristic marching gait about them, but because they're golems, and B, they seem to be very no-nonsense type of creatures. The feel down here, the feeling down here is very... the personality is not very warm in this place in terms of having a sense of humanity. Think of finding your place in a city where the citizens are all robots. It's very straightforward and not particularly humanly, is the best way I can describe the air. How do you guys react?
Whew. Friendly place. See why you left.
Disciplined. I like it. But
Yeah, you
I'm
would.
unsure how we will be met down here. Should we expect trouble, dwarf?
You should always expect trouble. But
Wise words.
yes, I don't think it's good for you all to step out of the shadows just yet. Let me check around.
Kyne,
Of course.
Kyne, I don't know if you necessarily believe that these people are going to be attacked outright. They probably will be questioned if they're found. I think anyone who is located in Orzammar who is not a dwarf will ask what their business is, and if the business sounds in line with Branca, with Queen Branca, then they can go about their business. Otherwise, most things have to go through her. Most people need to get permission to do anything around Orzammar. So, anyway, what does Kyne do?
Now let's make it clear, and I want you good answers from you all. You're here to go into the deep roads and find the Autumn. Is that right? Save your friends?
That's correct.
Alright.
Kyne, you know that nobody is allowed into the deep roads unless they get special permission from Queen Branca herself.
It's going to be a bit tricky. You see, it's kind of off limits, and there's some pretty nasty guards in the way. We'll have to get permission from the High Queen herself, or fight your way through half the city.
Well, looking at these golems, I don't think that's a possibility. The deep roads, to say. Do I know that Grey Wardens are permitted, are going to deep roads?
Roll a history and add +2. You get a +2 bonus to that because of your guardsman background, militaristic background, or military lore. I'll even let you have military lore.
Oh, well, that's nice.
You'll still get a +2 on top of whatever your regular bonuses are.
Okay, 14?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
How about we tell them that we're Grey Wardens going into the deep roads? I mean, that would help them out, and that might get us into the deep roads.
Well, you don't exactly look, except for that one, like Grey Wardens. He gestures towards Delwyn.
Galwin?
Aye. So his pretty image down here.
You mean there's someone like Delwyn down here that's a Grey Warden?
There was 2 months, 3 months ago.
Probably use that to our advantage.
Aye.
Delwyn, how do you feel about being a Grey Warden?
Well, you know me. I enjoy pulling the wool over people's eyes.
And the girl.
And a girl. Well then. How about... Yeah.
First time for everything. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be a first time.
Gwenaël,
That's a story for later.
Gwenaël is at this point going to ask Kyne about a place that they can... Is there an infirmary of some sort, if there's a place that they can put the 2 sick people in so he can start looking over them undisturbed?
Aye. There's a small place we can go.
He'll ask
Quietly.
if they need special permission to use that place.
If we go quickly enough and you keep your heads down, I think we can get at least that far without being disturbed.
Okay.
Okay, that's good news.
Can't imagine golems have much need for a clinic.
Well, this place used to not be just golems.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Well then, let's go, Grey Wardens.
Selwyn just kind of
So,
Is Baylor
lets
with
his
you,
hair
or-
down and smooths it up, and he's like,
so where is
Okay.
your first? Where are you guys going to first? Are you going to? Where are you guys going? Trying to go.
Should we try and escort Gwenaël
Yeah, I
and
think we
sick
should drop
people
them off
to the
first.
infirmary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the man and the dog with us, or did they?
No,
Balaam and the
you
other
never-
dog stayed behind.
You never asked Balaam to come with you, so he's just staying put to where he was.
Okay,
It's only Kyne who went with you.
nice. He's cool enough.
Kyne, go ahead and roll me a stealth, please.
Can do.
Roll a +2 because roll an additional +2 because, again, you know this place very well.
And the focus is 2 on top of that, right?
Yes. Okay. With that skill check, you will succeed in being able to sneak your companions over to.
Slash.
There we go.
You'll be very nice
Yeah.
with a stunt. Okay, very
Nice.
skillfully, you will be able to sneak your companions past the golems. You'll take him to this abandoned house. It looks like it used to be a chapel of some sort. Interestingly enough, there are remnants of some murals towards Andraste, which is strange because dwarves don't normally worship Andraste. But anyway, this chapel, and it looks like no dwarves are ever will because this chapel is now shut down. There's a lot of dust, but other than that, it looks clean enough, sterile enough. And there do appear to be a few old beds that Gwenail will have Archer and Archer and Vicious Vic lie down on. He's going to first thing he's going to do is he's immediately going to draw some of their blood to determine their type. Are you going to stick around for the results? It'll probably take him 15 minutes.
Okay, so was it Kane again? No,
Kyne.
Kyne. I need to write that down. Kyne, how would you go about to become a golem?
Well, it takes a little bit of work, and Branca's kind of strict about who gets what. But you basically surrender most of your body, and they cast you in stone and iron, and say some oogly books, and then it's done.
Oh. I'm guessing this can't be done discreetly behind her back.
Well, it's not unheard of. There were golems before Branca, though there may not be after.
So I'm guessing the most prudent course of events would be to go to Branca and ask for permission.
Kyne, there's the process of turning into a golem. They were able to locate the Anvil of the Void a few years ago. That's how Branca became the new queen, is because of her contribution to dwarven kind by finding the Anvil of the Void, and it is through that they're able to manufacture golems.
That's why I said with the gobbledygook.
Yeah, with
Yep.
gobbledygook. Yes. So it's nigh impossible to be able to use the Anvil of the Void without being noticed because there's always golems everywhere around it.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a few minutes? I'm going to take a look around, and I'll be back. Keep yourself here, take care of your friends. And don't worry, you got this far. That's the hard part.
Well, thank you.
Kyne will go off. If you guys are waiting for the results, Gwenail will explain to you that he has good news and bad news.
Oh well.
What's that?
The good news is that Archer's blood type actually matches pretty well with Maximilian's. The bad news is Vicious Vic's blood type is not compatible.
It's at this point that Delwyn would pull Gwenail discreetly aside and tell him to test his blood.
Gwenail will look kind of curious as to why, because Maximilian's the one with the dragon blood within his veins.
Just test it. I'll explain it when we get back.
He'll humor you. He'll probably want an explanation later, but he'll humor you. He'll take the blood. Are you going to stick around for those results, or are you going to... What are you guys going to do? I guess, how long is Kyne planning on being away for?
About 15, 20 minutes, he has to go talk to someone.
Okay. So, you can go and do that. Which means you guys will probably be sticking around for that amount of time. So,
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? If you guys could... We can take a short break.
Yep.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
will allow me, I'd like to roleplay with Kyne one-on-one.
Mhm.
So I can ask if you
Okay.
guys could just mute. You guys can get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, and I'll work with Kyne for like the next five minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks.
Sounds good.
Cool.
As for
Yeah.
you viewers, you get to watch. Okay.